Hi there, I'm Paul Mitchell, leadership coach, author and founder of The Human Enterprise. Welcome to Mentoring with Mitch, where we answer your questions about leadership in all areas of your life, leading at home, leading at work and leading in your community. We've been sharing these episodes now for quite a few years with you, and we get some great feedback. People find them useful with some great tips. So if you know other leaders who are as passionate as you are and as passionate as we are about building great enterprises which are truly human, we would love you to share this content with them. Okay, today's question comes from a CEO of a startup in the IT health area, health space area, and it's quite a sensitive one, so I think we need to answer it in a sensitive manner. The chair of our organisation is also a major shareholder, often the case, but I was brought in to run the business. She is constantly involved in operational matters and calls in unannounced to chat with the staff anytime she wants. Is this normal? Well, yes, I find it is normal and it's not nice. So what can we do about it? First of all, I want to talk about the why it can be normal in some situations and abnormal, if you like, in others. And that's the three different types of board members or chairs that you may come across, and then what you can do to get a better relationship with that person. So first of all, and I hope this isn't going to upset board members, but I do find board members fit into three categories. They're investors who have a number of investments, and so your new company might be one of those, or they're CEOs who they've been CEOs, they're through that, and now they realise they are directors, they're on the board, and they realise it's about strategy, it's about governance, and it's about helping you run the business. But they don't want to get involved in day-to-day operations. Fantastic, great board members. The more of those, the better. Second category of board member is those that have been CEOs, but for some reason they still think they're the CEO. They still think they're running the business, or they're investors who have only one business and it happens to be the one that you're running. That's where it's a bit more difficult, because they'll often want to be giving you heaps and heaps of advice and getting fairly involved in operational matters. We'll have a look at what you can do about that in a minute. The third type of board member, and again, huge categories, and I know there's an overlap, but the third type of board member is someone who's been a functional specialist, a commercial or a sales director, a marketing director, a finance person, or whatever. And they come in, and if you're not careful, if they've got strong ego and strong boundaries, not a problem. But if that's not the case, I find they want to almost prove that they could have been a CEO, that they think like a CEO. So again, they'll get involved in a lot of operational matters and be the first one to tell you as the CEO how you should be running this business. Have they got a right to do that? Absolutely. Does it help? Not always. Is it nice? No, it's not nice. Is it sometimes normal? Yes, it is. So let's have a look at what you can do about that situation. And although we're talking to you as the CEO of a startup, this applies to all organizations, and that is the lines of communication, the lines of accountability, and the lines of authority. First of all, communication. Very, very clear. Communication goes up and down the organization, or sort of down and up, down and up. It doesn't skip a level. In other words, the shareholders tell the board shares it with, or the chair shares it with the board, the board or the chair shares it with you as the CEO, you share it with your team, and then it goes back up the other way. It doesn't skip a level. So get the comms right. When we start skipping level, that's when you get into all sorts of systemic and personal problems. Next is accountability. Your team are accountable to you, not the board. So if someone thinks, oh, I've got to do something for the board and it's not going through you, again, we're going to have a problem. So your team accountable to you, you accountable to the chair accountable to, or the board accountable to shareholders. So communication up and down, accountability up. Next is authority levels. The shareholders give the board authority and therefore the chair. The chair passes that authority down to you as the CEO, and then as CEO, you give the authority to your team. Again, it's not that the board will give authority to one of your team members to go and do this or go and spend that. Can you see where that becomes a problem? Now, I'm not, oh, you're too hierarchical, Mitch, whatever. Trust me, I've seen this again and again and again. If you skip levels or you don't get that right, all hell breaks loose. And it looks like a personal problem. It'll pop up as a personal problem, but it's a systemic issue because we haven't got the comms, the accountability, and the authority right. So what do? Well, you have to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your chair. You have to sit down and talk about what it feels like, maybe talk about your own vulnerability, talk about how it pisses you off a bit, but get some ground rules in place. Often I find it's easier to complain about someone else's behaviour rather than act above the line, and the line being below the line blame and above the line responsibility. Take some responsibility for sitting down, talking with that person, be it a chair or anyone for that matter, putting the stuff on the table and talking it through and getting some ground rules in place, getting the boundaries very, very clear. Because let me tell you, when there are no rules, people make up their own, and that includes your chair. Hope that helps. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope that's helped, or at least given you a couple of first steps. And if you have questions about leadership at home, leadership at work, or leadership in your community, we would love to hear from you. Please visit mentoringwithmitch.com and we'll get through as many questions as we can. And also subscribe so you make sure you get to hear every episode. And importantly, if you've got friends or colleagues or even family that you think would benefit from hearing some of these answers or some mentoring with Mitch, please make sure you share with them as well. Until next time, find the passion, develop the skills, make the numbers, and make a difference.